Is that time again? I have to punish you. I have to make you suffer by looking at Reddit. But there's a good reason. React content takes skill. Okay? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. React content is art. And like any art, the artistry behind it has to be practiced. There's not always a hot drama to react to, so instead, we must go into the hyperbolic React time chamber of training that is reddit.com/r/amitheasshole, where people lay out a situation and ask the community if they are in the wrong or not. We will judge these people, and through judging them, we will sharpen our skills. We're going to start with a soft one, a weak one, and then the stakes will raise. You'll notice a marked stake raise by the end. Am I the asshole for apparently making the wedding all about me by being difficult and not taking off work to go dress shopping? You might think this one would be easier because it's trivial, but I think the mundane, the quotidian, typically can be dug into. It might be a slam dunk obvious one. We'll see. My son told me to come here. I am on my phone. I already hate this individual. I hate this entire family. I hope that this person is terrible to them. If any of you have children, or if any of you are to have children, you get into some kind of argument or dispute and your child says, go to Reddit. They'll decide who's in the right. This is the future liberals want. Background. I have to travel for my job, Monday through Friday. I've been getting on a plane every Monday and getting back on Friday due to a project needing to be supervised. Okay, so we have a commute, which complicates the idea of taking off work. Okay, simple so far. My future daughter-in-law works 4 days a week, Wednesday to Saturday, 10-hour shifts. The immediate reaction is, knowing what the title is, they both have Sunday off, right? Why is that going to be a problem? She wants to meet up to get a dress for the wedding. She wants to be there when I get a dress. Originally, I was just going to wear the same dress I wear for all weddings. Long blue dress. How many weddings is she going to? But she wanted me to wear something else since it will match her bridesmaids. We're not in Bridezilla territory by any means. Weddings once in a lifetime. Hope not anymore. Never mind. Wedding, one would hope, would be once in a lifetime. Right? You want it to be perfect. You want it to be special. Maybe key guests of honor you would want to fit the ensemble, fit the aesthetic, fit the style. So looking at our schedule Sunday, yeah, it's essentially Hex. You're suggesting that it should be on the daughter-in-law to essentially provide it. I don't know. It hasn't been said if she's buying it or not. I agree. If this is a demand, it should be paid for by the daughter-in-law, by the daughter-in-law and this woman's son. So looking at our schedule, Sunday would be the best day to do this. Naturally, we are both off. She told me no, since that is her rest day. Yo, your daughter-in-law is God? She asked for Monday. I told her I can't and have to work. Then I suggested Friday or Saturday after work. Those got shut down. She wants me to take off work. I didn't expect this to be as blatant as it is, but there is a reason this is the first. It will escalate. Yeah, obviously your daughter-in-law is a little freak, bridezilla. We're getting to what I would consider bridezilla territory. Yeah, dementoid. I then suggested she send me examples of what she wants and I'll shop by myself and buy something like the examples. That's crazy, because this is the future mother-in-law doing way too much for this girl. That's crazy. This is in the territory of no way is this real. Surely. Also shut down. And her son told her to come here. Oh my, don't even go to the wedding. No. No, disown that child. Disown your son. If you don't disown your son after this, especially after... So this occurs and your son tells you, go on Reddit, they'll tell you if you're an asshole or not. We'll see who's right. Don't go to the wedding, don't acknowledge their existence. After much back and forth, I told E to Will... I guess I told them I will just wear the blue dress, I presume. This started an argument and she called me a jerk. My son is mad that I am making the wedding about me and not taking off work. And then, I don't think I'm being unreasonable, but he told me to post here. The Redditors will judge you, mother. The Redditors will decide, mother. No, I take it back. Don't disown them. Don't simply not go to the wedding. Go to the wedding and kill everyone there is the solution. Update. My son has this link. Anyways, he told me I can wear the blue dress and that it won't be an issue. Reddit... My son is just a puppet for the will of Reddit. Oh my... That's worse than your son cutting you off. Your son siding with you because Reddit convinced him. No response from my future daughter-in-law. The mother is clearly the one with the least wrong about her. But what's wrong about her is the degree she was going to accommodate these freaks. That she even entertained posting on the internet to be judged. Demented. Ah! I pressed space. Tim, you don't have children. Look! First offer, Sunday, it lines up. She says no, it's a rest day. Then the mother accommodates. The future mother-in-law accommodates. Says Friday or Saturday after work. As someone who commutes, she commutes. And then they say no. Still, good God. Maybe for your child. For your daughter-in-law, who's not even your daughter-in-law, look, if she has any sanity, she will wish for her son to not marry this person anymore. Okay? Look, if she wanted to do something for her son, she should kill this hoe. Simple as. She isn't dill pickling. I understand that the most relevant part to her is her son. Look, I get that doing it for the person her son is going to marry is doing it for the son, really, as well. But this is too much. You will not be surprised, even on Reddit, this individual does not get judged as being an asshole. Shall we check? Yeah, okay. If they're going to call her an asshole, maybe it's going to be about her, like, totally bypassing the wishes of the daughter-in-law and, like, having it being her linking up with her son so that the daughter-in-law doesn't get what she wants or something like that. You think it's going to be it's one day off for her wedding? That's not only entitlement, that's stupidity. It's not just one day off because she flies out on Monday and comes back on a Friday. It messes up the whole schedule. Right. Control F. I have more faith in you. No, do I though? Not really. 3 matches for YTA. Okay, someone says ignore all the YTA commenters. I haven't seen any. Oh! So someone responded. This is not the person calling her an asshole, but it will come later in the thread, so we're going to read this thread. Euthanasia 63 responded to the initial post saying, I'm sorry the wedding may be the most important thing in your son's fiance's life right now, but it isn't in yours. If the woman wants you to wear a different dress than your go-to blue suitable for a wedding dress, and she insists she goes shopping with you to get it, then she can take time out of her busy Sunday rest day to go do just that, or she can pipe down and let you shop on her own. Or, of course, as the future mother-in-law offered, Friday after work, Saturday after work. Sure. And OP, I would be very careful about shopping on my own. The bride sounds very controlling and demanding, and I can easily imagine the first dozen or so outfits being shot down. Don't even go there. Screw her if she shoots it down or whatever. Yeah. Wear the dress. If they don't like it, bar you from the wedding. Good luck. One would hope, Sivvy, that the daughter-in-law would be paying for it if she demands you get a new dress. Anyway, I would insist she goes shopping with you, give her your schedule availability, and let her figure something out. Not the asshole, sure. Fluffy Monster responds, very reasonably saying she does not need to go shopping. She already has a dress now. Oreo Girl says to that person, if you mean OP, daughter-in-law doesn't want her to wear the dress since it'll match with the bridesmaids. OP also commented that she was looking to buy a new formal dress regardless, as her other was getting rough. Brilliant Muffin, the original poster, OP of the thread, if I don't have to, I will not buy a new one for this wedding. Implicitly, the daughter-in-law would have been expecting her to buy it as well, would not have been purchasing it for her. Jesus. Would much rather wait for a dress I like that matches more stuff for the new formal one. So if she's going to get a new dress, she wants it to be more generally usable rather than just for this wedding, and she would be expected to buy the dress for this wedding as well. It wouldn't be purchased for her. This one is saying she could be an asshole, and then there's one saying she is an asshole. Professor Yaffle says, buy a new one. For one thing, this is your son's wedding. Yeah, so he should cover the cost of anything that's needed, right? If you need people to wear like a uniform, essentially, it's worth buying a new dress, but also you know it will be too close to the bridesmaids' dresses. They know it will be too close. They can get you one. You aren't the asshole for not using your limited time off for the bridesmaids' convenience, but deliberately wearing that dress. What, just buy a random new dress? Knowing she doesn't want you to, and why, would be an asshole move. If a compromise was offered, wherein the daughter-in-law said, look, just get a dress that isn't that color, I'll pay for it. And then this lady was like, no! Then it would be an asshole move to wear that dress, I would say, when it's being facilitated. It's not an asshole move to not buy a new dress because someone wants you to. No. Pick a dress in any other color but blue or white. Nah. Red chair, blue chair goes further, it seems, though. The real power play, OP wears her wedding dress. This is where you're the asshole. You have worn this dress to how many weddings? She doesn't say. But a new dress for your son's wedding. Buy a new dress for your son's wedding. They either know you only wear one dress all the time, or can't be trusted to pick something out. It's your son's wedding. They think you don't care. Demented. What can you even say to this person? Did they even read it? The religion-sniffing Redditor strikes again, though. The filthy daughter-in-law says, quote, rest day, as in, quote, I'm a fundamentalist Christian and the only thing I do on Sunday is go to church. The religion-sniffing Redditor strikes again. Brilliant Muffin says no, unless she's a closet Catholic. Neither of them are religious. I'm pretty sure the rest day is just the day after she finishes working. Okay. That's more of a Jewish thing, says Butterman. Yeah, I thought it, yeah. Isn't there the whole meme of hiring someone to flick light switches for you because you're not allowed to? Calling it the day of rest, though, does have religious overtones, I'll agree. Even I made a joke about that, calling Sunday her day of rest. Specifically like that. But who knows if the daughter-in-law said it like that, or if that is just the way the future mother-in-law is describing it. Well, wait, Tim, is having a rest day not allowed if you aren't religious? Calling it the day of rest. Sunday is my day of rest. Sunday is the day of rest for me. That precise phrasing definitely has religious overtones. I would suggest. Well, I think Siffy might die at this next one. This was the entree. This was the starter. I didn't think it would be much, but there was a little bit of meat on the bone that I wasn't expecting digging into it. You ready for what's next? We've passed level 1, on to level 2. Am I the asshole for letting this guy buy me stuff, or buy stuff for me, and not disclosing until after? Disclosing what, you might wonder? Married? No, just wait. It's not even trans disclosure. Wait until you get a load of this. The account is called I'm Actually a Dude Throw. Let me start this off with 2 things. 1, I don't dress, quote, like a girl or anything. I know that anyone can wear makeup, certain clothing items. I'm just trying to be clear that I'm not wearing dresses or makeup or anything. Right, this person doesn't dress like a girl. 2, I was naturally born with gentle features. I have light eyes and I'm considered short for a dude. My face is girly according to my dad growing up, and I currently rock my wavy curly hair slightly past my shoulders. Rock my wavy curly hair. You are gay, though. You can't write that sentence and not be gay. I often wear jeans / loose flannel. So you don't necessarily dress like a stereotypical woman, but you do dress like a lesbian. It's not the first time that I was mistaken for a girl before. No, I do not have a feminine voice. Genetics are a lottery. And I got half. Right. What happened was that I went to one of my campus bars to chill and shit. Right now, I have a badly popped pimple. Badly popped pimple on my upper lip, thanks to a friend. Explain. Did your friend see a pimple on your lip and grab it and burst it? You can't say that. And not explain. Badly popped pimple on my upper lip, thanks to a friend. My friend asked, hey, have you heard about Dr. Pimple Popper? Do you want me to show you do you want me to give you an example of the kind of thing she does on her channel? Ah! So I wore a black facial mask until it healed off. Face covered, not wearing girly clothes, soft features, but curly wavy hair. While I was sitting, the bar dude let me know one of the guys wanted to pay for my drink. He asks if I'm comfortable with that, since he obviously knows I'm a guy. I just nod my head and say I'm cool with it. I took the drink, and after I asked him which guy sent it over, he pointed behind me to a table a bit far offish, but not exactly. I nodded at the dude as a thanks, and held up the empty shot glass to show. Returned to my business. Do you buy ladies shots? When you buy a lady a drink, I never bought a lady a drink who wasn't a date. I've bought my actual date drinks, sure. Although Lucky Bee bought all the drinks when we were out on Wednesday. Buying a date a drink is very different to buying a random woman a drink. If I were to do that, I wouldn't buy a shot. I don't think I'd even send it over blind. I'd probably be like, so what are you drinking? Whatever, can I get you one? Or something, like, just go immediately, I don't know. Sending a shot is like, get hammered, plap, 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 get hammered. I don't know. Yeah, the fizz would be too obvious in a shot glass. Look, Hex, if I'm sending it over, that makes it feel safer. But actually, I'm friends with the bartender, so it isn't. Can I get you the same shit you are drinking, bitch? What the mad stem man, what? Oh yeah, you're not wrong. He just said wanted to pay for the drink. He did not send over a shot. He did not send a shot over. Alright, that's fine. Generically paying for the drink is okay if he pays. The guy who got me the shot sat next to me and asked how I was. This is look, I haven't bought a drink for a stranger. I feel like you talk to them first. You don't get the drink and then talk to them. Am I crazy? Am I insane? Also, there is a meta. You want to know... Do you want to know the real drink you get a chick? Do you remember the New Zealand and elsewhere horse semen shots? Those were a trend for a while. Horse cum shots. That's what you send them. And you watch them from across the bar, and if they don't cough, you know that's the one. If they don't choke on it, you know that's the one for you. That's the strategy, okay? I need to be careful. Look, I'm a bit tired and distracted for various reasons. I've been making a lot of assumptions. I made some assumptions reading the Chugga Conroy document, and I made an assumption in this, or like I misread or forgot. Okay, so he didn't buy this guy a shot. He just paid for the drink, and the drink happened to be a shot. Very well. The guy who got me the shot sat next to me and asked how I was. I replied that I'm good, just trying to relax after class and exams. He gets that, oh shit look, and asks if I'm a guy. I say yeah. He gets upset and asks, so YTF, you took the shot then? Wouldn't he be more like, why'd you let me pay for that? Or something like that, if it was just paying for the drink you already had. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, okay? It doesn't matter. And I just shrugged, saying he offered it. He asks me to front the money up because it was obvious he was paying for a lady. I refuse and point out that he chooses to pay for a random person's drink. I don't think it's obvious he was paying for a lady. Looking at you, it's not obvious at all. You should have roasted that guy. Pointed to anything gay about him you possibly could and roast him. Or don't, because you'll get the shit beaten out of you if you do. Yeah. That first one we looked at, maybe it happened. This one didn't happen, but still. I refuse and point out that he chooses to pay for a random person's drink. He tried to get the bartender involved, but even he said that he paid for a random person's drink and he's not going to charge me. The guy left pissed, cursing and stuff. What brings me here today is that when I was telling my roommates about the shit I experienced at the campus bar, he said it's funny, but I'm still an asshole for taking a drink that wasn't intended for me, since I'm not a girl. No, it was intended for you. Maybe, if he read this guy as being a chick and was attracted to him and wanted to buy a drink, evidence is pointing towards... So, am I the asshole? Obviously not. The drink was intended to go to this person. There were no conditions stated whatsoever. Guy could have been gay. Who knows? Anyway, this one is weak. This one, I skimmed real quick and it seemed like it could be spicier than the first one. How is this one less spicy than the wedding dress one? Let's see if anyone says you're the asshole. I think that the judgment is obviously... This is obviously a case where this guy did nothing wrong. Is the bartender the asshole? I don't think the bartender has any duty to prevent someone from making a mistake like that. No. What would he say? Would he go, hey, are you a female? The guy wanted to get a drink. You're the asshole. You look like a woman. Oh, he could have lost his job saying, you know, that's a guy, right? Potentially. Maybe it's risky. True. Maybe it's risky in multiple ways. Weak Environment 423 simply says, you're the asshole. Newt Altruistic says, you're the asshole. Next time, must reject. He still could have said, you want to buy a drink for that guy over there? Circle's argument is he could say, I will talk to him and ask him if he would like to accept the drink. He could. I don't think it makes him an asshole for not doing that, though. I don't think it's wrong to not check. Ooh. Chance Vegetable 780. He says, I think you could not have possibly known that he only wanted to send a drink to a girl. It's not your problem. Though, anyway, without having taken off your mask or saying something. Therefore, accepting the drink was fine. You could have thought he was into guys and been cool with that. However, if I were you in that situation, when he asked me to pay him back for the drink, I would have done so that there would be peace all round. Here's a sick trick. Here's a sick trick. Buy a drink for a woman and then approach them if they accept it. If they don't seem receptive to your advances, you can then go, oh, by the way, you're a guy, right? And when she says no, be like, oh, no, I'm gay. I wanted to buy a drink from a guy. Why did you accept it? I'm obviously gay. Could I get my money back? I wanted to buy a drink for a guy. And vice versa. If I were you in that situation, when he asked me to pay him back for the drink, I would have done so that there would be peace all around. It would have been no skin off my back. That person switched it to a situation where you're not spending that money and is now demanding that you return it to a situation where you are spending money when they have no right to do so. They bought the drink for you. It's their problem. How about the guy, the fucking moron, the cringe idiot who accidentally bought a man a drink? Suck it up. I would have understood his discomfort and would have wanted to help ease that for him. I would try to make him feel as good as I could. He bought me a drink after all. Maybe he'd even change his mind about not wanting to buy a drink for a man if I just treated him right. No, doesn't mean he's homophobic to me. What? He's just into women, and his intention was to send the drink to a woman. He was into a man. I'm sorry. He accidentally was into a man. Whoopsie. He obviously made an error. His being so pissed off stinks, but sounds like you don't give a fuck. Why should he give a fuck? Someone bought me a drink because they thought I was a woman. Get owned. Hey, OP, if you're going to be progressive, OP is the victim of misgendering, technically. Isn't that a hate crime? This man sent poison to OP. Alcohol is poison. Sent him poison and misgendered him. Unacceptable. He obviously made an error. His being so pissed off stinks, but sounds like you don't give a fuck. Even if you'd paid for it, he's not going to make the error again. You took advantage of his error. Ick. You're the asshole. Yeah, he can't tell the difference between men and women, dude. He's going to make the error endlessly, unless he never sends a drink again. I don't... Oh! Damn! Let's look at this. Kant's 88 says... I don't like it. Sure, he lost the overall gamble, I get it. But you knew his intentions. So, which makes your intentions for accepting his drink deceiving. Someone sends you a drink, and you deceived them by accepting the drink they offered. Deceived him into what? He already offered it. He already sent it. If I did something to trick him into offering the drink, then I'd be deceiving him. You did nothing wrong, but it's all known that buying someone a drink at the bar is a sign of interest. If a guy bought me a drink, I'd decline it, not accept it to play him as a fool. OP says, so if I have an interest in a guy and he gets me a drink, what then? Kant says, tell him you're a man beforehand. The guy bought the drink with no contact whatsoever. It was unsolicited refreshment. Sorry, is the standard now? You have to tell everyone who enters a bar that you're a man in case they think you're a woman and offer you a drink. Shut up. It doesn't change the dynamics because you have interest in him now. Your feminine looks fooling guys into getting you drinks is the problem. Ah! Holy shit. It's not even someone being like, oh, you dang old trans tricking men. It's simply being an effeminate man is deception. Being a man dressed like a man tricked this man into thinking you were a woman. You deceived him. What the fuck? Oh, holy moly. He's just, Wildfang says, him sitting there being too sexy. It isn't fair to all the straight men. He's turning gay. I'm just saying, I'm just not hearing anyone speaking about the intentions. What was your intention in accepting that drink you were sent? To get more drunk, presumably. Or considerations versus selfishness. You're only allowing the guy to get you a drink because it benefits you. What? Yeah. Okay, why is the guy buying a drink? Sorry, is the implication that the guy is buying the drink for this person out of total altruism? But if they were doing something for you or to you that you didn't like, would you accept it then? Are you a moron? Or would you disclose that you're a man or decline beforehand? You accepted a free drink. But would you accept a knife in your eyeball? Have you thought about that? Or would you disclose that you're a man or decline beforehand? If you say yes, you would stop them in that case, then that's where I think it's wrong to be that way and accept the drinks. If you say no, then hey, do your thing. At least you're consistent. The consistency in saying yes to one and no to the other would be that they're doing it based on what they want. They say yes to things they want and no to things they don't. Thank you for the crop warning. I forgot how wide Reddit can get. If someone... Alright. The basis of yes or no doesn't have to be on the person mistaking you for a woman. That's their L. That's literally just their L. I feel like if we kept that mindset that, hey, it's not my problem, he made his choice and he chose wrong, then dang, society's morality is worse than I thought. It's not my job to police someone offering me a drink and make sure he didn't do it by mistake. Like, what do you mean? But the thing is, You know you look like a female. You know the effect that has. With great power comes great responsibility. Marvel's femboy. Femberman. Whatever. I don't know. To be careless about how people react to that. To sucker drinks from guys. No. This person was merely existing. Unsolicited. Drink was offered. He said, sure, that's alright. Sucker drinks from guys is the part that feels wrong to me, and dangerous at that. I don't know, at the end of the day, do your thing. I wouldn't buy drinks for a girl without talking to her first anyway. That part, it's on him. Reddit has decided this guy is the hottest femboy in the world. Superpower levels of just being an effeminate man. Sorry, someone responded to the OP in such an extreme way that the mods removed it. Saragil says, info. What was your impression of the drink before the guy came up to you? Were you just bewildered at why a stranger bought you a drink, or did you understand that it was possible the guy mistook you for a girl and was trying to pick you up? It's not my problem. Flat Bathroom says either one wouldn't matter. Saragil says disagree. Flat Bathroom says you pay for a random person's drink without confirming if they're interested in you. That's a you problem. Doesn't even necessarily need to be that. Also, so Chinese Star says scary mentality if applied to a woman. Oh, you accepted a drink and you knew he wanted sex, and then you didn't sleep with them? In order for OP to be an asshole, he would have had to have had some sort of interaction with that guy first. The guy made the choice without information to offer a drink. He knew he was offering a drink to someone without knowing who they were. If you offer someone nice with no strings attached, what do you think the odds are that they'll accept? What are they going to react to that like? If we're talking about how people react, how will people react to you with long hair? How will people react to you with long hair? How will people react to being offered to have their drink paid for in a bar? If we're going to talk about reactions to actions or appearances. See, if you say there's no case where the femboy is the asshole, where the femboy literally lies and says, like, I am a female, and I want to sleep with you, and will sleep with you if you get me a drink. I don't think there's a realistic scenario where they're an asshole. I don't think there's a likely scenario where they're explicitly an asshole, but I think there are hypothetical ones. Right. That was number 2. We're going back to, I think, girl drama. Am I the asshole for not telling my best friend that I've been married for years? It's short. It's short. We might have to look for more comments. They say, 4 years ago, I eloped with my partner and got married with no one in attendance. We are very private and didn't tell anyone. We'd been together for 5 years prior, and this marriage was more of a formality for us, rather than a celebration. Recently, my best friend, Meredith, and I were having a conversation about marriage where I casually mentioned that I was married and had been for years. This completely caught Meredith off guard, and it totally offended her. That I'd kept this information from her. She felt betrayed and questioned our friendship. If this person is an asshole, it's not necessarily because you didn't tell her. I tried to explain that the marriage decision was between myself and my partner, and we hadn't excluded her on purpose. We just wanted the day to be about only us. No one was invited. I also tried to explain that I hadn't told her about it in all these years because it was never a big deal to me, or something I felt needed to be announced. Okay. Meredith has known myself and my partner prior to us getting married and after. We've always been close friends. I believe she is hurt that I never told her I was married in all the years we've been friends. Am I the asshole? I would assume that Meredith knows they're together. Offended her that I'd kept this information from her. Yeah, I don't think Meredith's entitled to know that. and there's no explanation of why it would be important for Meredith to know. I imagine if a friend dropped that on me, my reaction would be more like, what the hell, are you serious? When did it happen? Like, tell me, how'd that happen? Why'd you do that? Blah, blah, blah. I don't think I'd be upset or angry. I'd be surprised and want to know about it. I'd agree with that. Meredith feeling betrayed, though. The characterization of this Meredith, this alleged Meredith's reaction, is that it's like quite extreme. But we can't even see the full extent of the reaction. So this person says she explained to Meredith that they didn't consider it a big deal, wanted it just private, just be between them. I wouldn't say any of this is asshole-ish from the available information. From the available information, it's hard to determine because the specific details of the relationship with Meredith, an understanding of that is required to know if it's weird to not tell her. Let me explain this. If this person had an understanding that Meredith would find it a big deal, if this person is close, and they say, Meredith has known myself and my partner prior to us getting married and after, we've always been close friends. There's a suspicion that this person may be a bit of an asshole in that if they've always been close friends, she probably should have had some sort of read on Meredith that it would be a thing, and then to just drop it out of nowhere with that understanding might be like asshole through negligence of her friend's feelings. Possible she was aware that Meredith would find this to be important, and to just drop it like that is probably not right. But that's not in here. That is not written in here. We don't know. I would say I couldn't determine. Absence of a clear point or evidence of assholery, I think, absolves. I would say not the asshole. What do you think Reddit said? Reddit judged this person to be the asshole. Ooh, let's see these comments. It is possible, I will say. Sometimes what happens is there's OP, and then OP makes responses underneath that make it clear they're an asshole. We might read some stuff from OP that explains why they went that way, because we don't dig into that first. But this should be a spicy, interesting read. So OP's reason they might be an asshole is, I believe I might be the asshole because even though I'm a private person, a marriage isn't a big deal to me. I should have known that it was to Meredith, and I should have told her earlier. The should have known the Meredith thing, that's a little bit more information. And I'd say that would have been very important to include in OP. The should have told her earlier, I disagree with. Should have known that you'd have to be sensitive, tell her in a more sensitive... Tell her in a more careful way, in a softer way, in a way suited. And also, is it should have known as... Yes, Ivy, should have known as in it's obvious, and I should have had that in mind, or I didn't know, but I should have. Because it's used in both ways sometimes. OPSP, insensitive is enough to get the asshole label here, okay? Scrapples says, you're the asshole. 17.5k points, alright? You're the asshole. It's perfectly fine to elope and invite nobody, your choice. It's perfectly fine for you to want to keep that information to yourself and not share with anyone, your choice. By making that choice, however, you accept that you've excluded all of your loved ones from an aspect of your life. You're trying to blend privacy with not a big deal to me. That is a lie! You wouldn't have kept it secret all these years if privacy wasn't a big deal. That could be true, but this could be equivocation. But also, on top of it potentially being equivocation. Yeah, she said she wanted the event to be just to her and her partner. It could also be, by big deal, she could mean like in terms of, you know, the world and the people around her. Like it's not a big deal for people to know or not. But it is a big deal for her and her partner because it's her and her partner's relationship. This person's assuming an interpretation that creates an inconsistency when they may well not have meant it that way. She does say never a big deal to me. I think it's unclear exactly what OP means. Then to casually mention it in conversation with no tact and no prep and no consideration, that's fair. That would be my point towards, if she really should have known that Meredith would care, just dropping it like that, Just dropping it like that. That's insensitive. That could be some sort of asshole thing. Also, Aisu Straiku, the not a big deal to us thing, could be an indication that they forgot about it and don't really think about the fact that they're married every day. Yeah, Aisu Straiku. Because if they did, counterpoint to this person's point, wouldn't it be obvious that they're married? If they thought the state of being married was a big deal? Maybe the ceremony was what mattered more for them, or doing it. Oh, she does say we are very private as a general statement about how they behave, about everything. If this person is very private in general, then perhaps Meredith, who's always been close friends with her, should have been aware of that. That changes things as well. There's so many little bits of meat that you need to focus in on. They say it was a formality for us. Okay. So presumably they keep everything private. Generally. And the marriage was just one more thing. It itself wasn't a big deal to them. So that stayed in the drawer of just all the other stuff they keep private too. Yeah. Given that they say they're very private in general, given that they've always been close friends with Meredith, I think it's fair to say, as much as you could say this person should have known Meredith would have been impacted by it, Meredith should have known this person well enough to know that if they got married, it would be private. Right? So you could argue OP's an asshole. They should have known Meredith would have been struck by this revelation and should be more sensitive about it. But you can also say Meredith should have known you're a private person. Whatever. Vilius Karsokis says, I think this is fake. It's on Reddit. All of this is fake. All right. Tim, Meredith is the partner. Surprise, we're married. I think Meredith's expectation of understanding that these people are private cancels out the expectation that OP would know she cares. Samosa Expert says, I usually take the position of nobody is entitled to knowing the details of your life, but marriage is literally a social contract. So? The entire point of it is to tell the world you've committed yourself to one person. No, that's not the entire point of it. So what's the point in keeping it a secret? I mean, it could even... There are many things it can be. You can do it for legal reasons. It could be some, like, purely about it, you being, unified before God, not society, perhaps. Could be all sorts of things. It seemed, I would assume, I'm going to make another assumption. When they say it's a formality, I presume they care more about it as a legal thing. I would bet. If they're describing it as a formality they didn't think was super important, consider things like even simple things like hospital visitation. Yeah, it can be both. It can also be one or the other. This person is saying the entire point of marriage is to tell the world you've committed yourself to one person. Is that the entire point? No. It's fine to elope as some people want intimate weddings, but elopement doesn't mean you conceal the fact you've gotten married from your friends and family. If they'd been asked, would they say no, do you think? Anyway, that's a hypothetical we'll never have answered. Most people are going to assume nefarious justifications when someone chooses to obfuscate their marital state. What is this sentence? Most people are going to assume nefarious justifications when someone chooses to obfuscate their marital status. Like what? Because most of the people who do this are cheating or committing fraud. You think their friend Meredith was shocked and upset because she thought OP was cheating or committing fraud? You think that's why Meredith was upset? I agree. Definitely you're the asshole. Meredith felt that information being held for her was a sign that their friendship wasn't on the level she thought it was. And she was hurt by that, obviously. Also, if you're concealing your marital status to cheat, you're not both doing it. You don't both do it. And your partner, your wife or husband would be upset that you were concealing it in that scenario. What are you talking about? The idea that marriage is a social contract is very subjective. Oh God, I hate Reddit so much. No matter the intent, a marriage is a legally recognized and binding social contract. Stop Stop using words. These details don't matter to whether she's an asshole or not. These details don't matter to whether they're an asshole or not. Stop! They're also doing a clusterfuck of terminology, and clearly people are not using terms in the... People are not using the same... People are clearly using terms without agreeing on the definition, so it's just a clusterfuck of nightmare equivocation nonsense. If a Redditor could speak English, you still would not be able to understand him. Do you know that reference? What is this discussion? How does a discussion get to the point where someone says, for Meredith and OP, finding out that OP is married could have a big effect on how Meredith treats their friendship and the things they do together? Insane! How? For example, Meredith could have been more careful about planning activities that respect OP's commitment to her spouse. If they were just in a long-term committed relationship and not married, the friends' activity planning would be different? Do I live in an alternate reality? This kept them away from situations that might have made their friendship uncomfortable or tense. Meredith could have shown support and understanding by knowing OP's marital status in cases where it was needed, like helping OP when they needed it. What? Oh, you weren't married, so I'm gonna... You're in like a multi-year relationship. I'm gonna take you to the brothel, but if you were married, I would not. Okay. Why am I reading AI-generated thoughts? I think people just jerk off to AI-generated thoughts.